Alright, stream time. Microphone check 1 2 1 2. Alright, everything looks good. Alright, I may turn the music down a little bit. Alright, let's go. Welcome to a, what is this? I guess a post Lightbox talk. So, should be fun, I would assume. Alright, hold on a second. I just gotta put a treat in my dog's toy. Right here. And then we can start painting. Everyone's doing good, buddy? Come grab that. Here you go. You got something to eat. Okay. Sorry, I was trying out some brushes, so I'm just gonna hang out here. I have a thing I did a while ago, so I'm gonna kind of work that out. I might do it into like an actual painting, but we'll try that out. And we have a webcam, so that's a little bit different too. So we'll see how that works as well. Probably should sit up. But you don't do it right next to me. Alright. Which means we're gonna get right into it. There we go. 5. Color, just a little bit of color dynamics. No, apply. There you go. Nice. I could probably maybe start breaking down some forms now, but I just like that subtle color information in here. Whoops. Is there a way to put that in there? I guess there... No. I guess I do have to put it right there. Well, that's annoying. Well, whatever. And I'll move that in there. Alright, that's probably big enough as a screen as you're gonna get. So sorry, I'm just gonna refresh this and then we'll go from there. What's up, Darnell? How's it going? Nice meeting you at Lightbox as well. Hope all is well. Yeah, I got to meet a lot of people at Lightbox. Overall, it was a pretty positive time, if I do say so myself. Fitz, what up? Yeah, overall, it was pretty dope. I have a little rough drawing that I did too, because I was trying to figure out some of the shape language, and so I have that for myself if need be. But definitely not married to it. Yeah, man. Yeah, overall, it was a really good time. I really enjoyed myself. It would have been nice to have a little bit more consumers there. Wasn't a lot of people trying to spend that money. But that doesn't really affect me so much because I'm not there for money stuff. I'm more there to kind of hang out with friends. But that seemed to be kind of a concession thing that or kind of a unanimous thing that I saw with some people that were around me that were selling stuff. But again, that's kind of expected for it to be the first time. So, like, even though I printed stuff, I didn't really print a lot. So, and I ended up giving away like a lot of stuff too, just because I didn't want to take anything home. But for the people that did buy stuff that got there early, I appreciate it. Yeah, downtown got a print. Yeah, so probably never printing ever again. So those are probably one of a kinds because I don't have a store. I don't have like anything. So if you got a print for me, then yeah, that's technically a one of a kind, which I hope you like it. Because yeah, definitely not doing it again. Now I could possibly do like a book in the future, so that's definitely like a possibility. So you know, I can do a book, but in terms of a, you know, in terms of a more prints, I'm not sure if that's the best thing for me. I think a book, I want like an instructional book. Instructional book sounds like it's a way better use of my time. And like that sounds cool to me, to just make like a little kind of a pocketbook guide for drawing environments. That's kind of where like I would see it being like useful. Rotation smudge. What does this do? Oh, that's kind of cool. Well, not sample all layers though. So I'm just playing around with some brushes here. That's weird. So, wait, what is it doing? Huh. Well, it's creating something interesting, that's for sure. Crescent. No, I know the crescent one. Line chalk. I used to have just like a regular like brush that like was really good for moving. Maybe it was a cotton blender? Might have been the cotton blender. It's probably the cotton blender. Yeah, I think it's the cotton blender. There you go. I think that's what I wanted. It was this cotton blender. I don't want any of that other crazy stuff. But what I don't want to do is sample all layers. Yeah, so if I do something, I want to do a book. That's probably like what would make the most sense, is to do a book. But then that's a whole nother thing that like, of course I'm gonna like print it out and like, you know, pay for it myself. I don't want to try to do no, like I would front the book because I don't want to have to deal with like having to, you know, Kickstarters or any of that kind of stuff. I just want to do like, I'd only print like a few of them out too, like if I do a book. But the idea would be like little, I would call something like the Hitchhiker's Guide to like the Staff Man. Something I would do, probably what I would call it. Something like the Traveler's Guide to the Staff Man Journeys, something like that. So all the things you need to know about the traveling staff stickman, and just environments that guy would be in. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I would want. But in due time. I got a year to kind of work that out, but I still have a lot of things going on at work and stuff, so when I find the time, then I will do that. I already have friends that have done books before, so they can already kind of help me with that if need be, so I'm not too worried about it. I would just, what I'm more worried about is like getting the content and then figuring out like how many pages it would be. I'll probably have to look at maybe something like Peter Hahn's book, like his little book of like, he has a book about like a dynamic drawing, dynamic sketching, you know, kind of that lost art, you know, the art center stuff. I'd probably maybe look heavily at that book and try to structure it maybe in kind of the same way. Maybe kind of have it maybe not the same amount of pages. I thought that book was pretty solid in general, and I thought it was like really, really cool. And to sell it cheap, just to like have fun with it. So, and it would include little thumbnails, like that kind of stuff, you know, little things that I think would help me. That's what I'm talking about. Cedric, what's up, man? How's it going? So I'll only stream for an hour. Thursday will be Feedback Thursday. Technically, this may or may not happen, but I have special guests Pablo Carpio and Pablo Dominguez will be at my house because they have some work stuff they got to go do. So if they are in my house on a Thursday when I'll be streaming, I'll see if they're open to coming on stream and hanging out, because I think that would be pretty cool if they come and just, you know, kick it. I'll probably just be asking them a shitload of Blender questions, but it would technically be like my first stream people, you know? My first time having people on stream, like live, so cool. So Fitz said, wouldn't you have enough personal work created to have like a print-on art demand book available? No effort on your part, what a way to fan support your art. Yeah, I could, but I don't know. Perhaps that comes from like insecurities, but I don't feel like I have enough of like things that I like that I imagine someone would want to buy it. But I do feel like my stuff is good enough in terms of educational, in terms of explaining stuff, that I feel like someone would want to buy that more than like just supporting the art per se. Now I could totally be wrong there, but we'll have to see what's up. Oh shit, Stephen Burns, the man, the myth, the legend. What's up, Stephen? Adobe Master there. So yeah, it could definitely go that way. Perhaps I'm just selling myself short, but I think with proper marketing, I could probably like, you know, make that happen. I would just need it to be Anthony Jones for like a couple of days, and then I'm sure he would promote it for me. But I think I enjoy education stuff more. I enjoy the process of like trying to break something down in a way that most people wouldn't think about breaking things down, and then hopefully that it like helps people. Like I get way more like satisfaction when someone says like, hey, like I had trouble doing this, and you know, the way that you broke it down, like I now get it, you know what I mean? Versus like, oh, I like your work. So there isn't anything wrong with like that, you know what I mean, per se, like, oh, you like my work. But I don't know, I just find more satisfaction in that. But who knows? That could easily change. Yeah, so I like problem solving, like when it comes to like people trying to figure stuff out. I think is where I fit into the art community. Let's see, let's try some of this paint stroke stuff. What is this? Okay, that's kind of cool. Ooh, that's actually nice. I'll have to combine that with a couple other things. Stephen Burns, the man, the myth, the legend. Would you be available for Comic Fest next year? That would very much depend on when it is. I believe Anthony Jones did his last year. Did he go last year? I think he went last year, right? Because he went that one year, and that was cool. Like, I had a good time. If I do, I'd probably have to bring my wife, though, so that we can go do stuff afterwards. Why is my computer lagging so much? There we go. Definitely open to it. It just depends on when it is, and I have to like really look at my schedule, because like that's the hard part. Like having a full-time job, I only get so many vacation days, and so that's probably the biggest issue, is just making sure I can get off time properly. But I mean, if you got AJ, you don't even need me. You got all you need right there. If you got AJ. At that point, I'm just there for moral support. which I would gladly do. Yeah, I'll talk to AJ about it and ask him what's up, ask him if he's considering it or not. You know, he kind of makes the calls when it kind of comes to that stuff in terms of where he's like the partner in crime, and he's kind of he's the shot caller in terms of where we kind of go in terms of doing, you know, workshops, that kind of stuff. But I mean, I will say I did have a good time at that last one. If you guys never heard of Comic Fest, it's pretty cool. And correct me if I'm wrong, it's the people that kind of like made Comic-Con, like the very first one. But obviously Comic-Con now is like not even really fun anymore, because it's like everyone that's not comic fans go, and it's become about everything but comics. They run their own little festival now, and it's in San Diego. But like when I went there, it was really cool to see, like it was really like true comic fans, and it was everything about the art. So it kind of gave me the idea of what I imagine Comic-Con was like before like it got super freaking famous, and then like everyone kind of killed it because it got too popular. It's a really cool event, and I had a great time. Very, very small, very, very grassroots. Everything about it was really, really cool. Yeah, I forget the dates. Is it still in San Diego, Steve? Let me know about that, because if so, promote it. Type it in the chat actually, if you have information about it, because then that would be pretty cool too. Because then I can just forward that to people, or you people can just go that are in the area. So, because that's always nice. Ah man, a choir can't consist of only a bass. Very true. Ooh, I like that saying. Very interesting saying. Choir can't consist of only a bass. Yeah, what are the exact dates? I mean, I can ask AJ, but if you have the exact dates, you might as well post them in here, because people are probably going to watch this later, and they're probably going to want to know about it. So just tell me the yeah, just post a link in the chat, and then I'll like click on it on stream, and then we'll just take a look at it real quick together, and then people can make up their decision, their own minds on whether they think like, hey, that's something I'd like to try out, or maybe not, you know. But if I can't go, at least I can do is give you some fresh eyes to look at it, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, overall the expo was pretty good. I think for me, how I measure how things are good is just like hanging out with friends. Like if the friends are happy, then like I'm usually in a pretty good mood. But overall, everyone that I feel like I wanted to see, I got to see. So then overall for me, it was a very like chill time. So yeah, it could have been way worse. So. And it being a first time, I thought it was definitely organized very well, and they definitely went above and beyond. Like they had like a exhibitors dinner that was just for the exhibitors and stuff like that, and that was kind of cool. They really kind of went out of their way to kind of really make you feel like they were appreciating like all that you did. And it's something that I think maybe Tina, I think they gave us champagne one time, Tina, but overall it definitely felt like you were being heard more. But at the same time, this is the first year, so you can't really, like the very first year, I remember when I went to see TN, like everything's fine. So that's where I get a little bit skeptical, but it does seem like they're doing the right things. They did some charity stuff. Like, they were doing kind of all the right things to make sure that, like, everyone was, like, having a good time. So that's what I did like about it. And they definitely, like, they did a lot of things they probably didn't have to do in terms of, like, trying to make the people, like, you know, feel like they're being heard. I think that's probably one of the biggest things. Now, granted, like, it's a little bit easier to kind of hate on, like, CTN because they're, like, locked in a contract, I believe, in terms of, like, that venue. So that's why people probably don't like that stuff that much. But I would be very curious to see how well CTN does or what they do to kind of compete. I think competition's always good. And so if people kind of leave that event like, hey, that was really, really good, and then let's say that we go next year and then they haven't made any changes to kind of improve themselves, then I think that's what's going to eclipse it. In terms of people saying, you know what, I'm only going to go to this one. Because they're so close, too. They're so close to each other. You have to kind of assume, like, are they really going to, you know, are they going to make those changes? Or are they going to, is it going to be worth, like, driving, like, flying out there, you know? So, like, that's an important thing. Let's see. And yeah, Steven, just post a link in the chat. That would be super helpful about the Comic Fest. If you're trying to get that going. All right. Okay, cool. So now that I got that going, okay, I like where that's going, but now I'm gonna go back to the rough. I think I know what I want. I think I know the problems that I'm gonna hit. So I'm just now gonna just go for it. So I think we'll just X out of this one. So I actually had some color. Some crazy colors that I want to try out, so we're gonna try that out actually. So I did this little color thing here. So why don't I just do this? Why don't I just bring it in? I think that's probably a better idea. I'm just gonna put it on top of everything. That was my color swatch. Alright, and if I do that, now I can start bringing stuff in. So let's bring in those colors here. There we go. We're just gonna block some stuff in. So I think we'll do it very, very like boxy right now. And let's view the colors. There you go. Alrighty. Who's texting me? Oh, my wife just left. Nice. But for the people that did win, I'm curious how you guys liked it. In terms, that's what I'm more curious about. Because I'll always have my opinions, but then I could be totally like in the wrong in terms of like what I think is right or what I think is, you know, good or bad. So I am always kind of curious to hear what people go, because I always want to hear the side of like a student to a working professional to someone that's looking for work to like maybe someone that's just a hobbyist. Like, I think it's important that whenever you're doing this kind of stuff, you always want to get feedback from all angles, and then you're trying to kind of figure out how everyone kind of works together in a way, or how do you make that all kind of be in unison. Like, one thing that I thought was kind of a little bit hard was the fact that the panels didn't have a lot of room. So because all the panels were like kind of free technically, like with all the passes, panels got busy really quickly, and they'd fill up like really easily. So then chances are you weren't getting in a panel. And so I wish there's a way to kind of like, I don't know, mitigate that. I don't know how you solve it though. Like CTN used to do the thing where it's like, oh, you pay to play, you know, but then like you still wouldn't get into it. So like I had a talk for Gumroad, but then as soon as I like got there, like it was already like it was already at capacity and people didn't get in. That like I told them to come, and then they got there like relatively early, but then they still couldn't get in. So that stuff kind of sucks, but it's like the first time, so I don't know what you do. Do you raise the ticket price? You could do that. But you raise ticket price, and the average goer, that person that has the money that's going to want to like buy prints and shit, well, they're not going to come, right? Because it's like probably too expensive. So you got to find that happy medium, and I don't know where that happy medium is between the two. And so I think it's important that if you did go, you should try to. I think they do offer feedback. I think there's like a survey or something like that. Hopefully they do. If they don't, I would strongly request. I doubt they're ever going to watch this, but I strongly request that if you guys ever do go, you should fill out the survey. So I think that's where problems, when people don't fill out surveys like that, that's where, or not enough people fill out the survey, people don't know what's going on. So I would highly recommend people like be vocal about like what went well and what didn't go well, so they can kind of build upon it. 'Cause it's going to be their first year, so I mean, there's going to be growing pains, I assume, but overall, it was a pretty strong first time. And so yeah, like everyone knows that I've been really skeptical about it like the entire time, and rightfully so. I think anytime I'm always skeptical when people jump on the bandwagon like kind of thing where everyone's like, yo, this is gonna be the best thing ever. I think when I see so many people like super hyped up, I think that's when I get worried. I'm like, let's slow our roll here, because that's the least kind of disappointment. But I gotta say, like, I was pleasantly surprised. I came with no expectations, so that way, like, if good things did happen, like, I wouldn't necessarily be like, I'd be even more happier. And overall, like, I was pretty happy with the whole thing. Plus, there's actually some good clubs nearby, so that was nice. So it made clubbing an enjoyable experience. Not that that's not important, but it kind of is important. You got to be able to party. Otherwise, what's the point? Let's see. I have a good friend, fellow artist Justin Conway, said he loved it. He lives in Pennsylvania, so getting to meet people like that, getting to meet people and feel like he was in the community, it was an awesome opportunity. He didn't get into panels, but he gave up early and just wandered around and hung out with people, apparently. Yeah, see, that's what I think is like the best part about it, is like just hanging out with people, honestly. I didn't go on any panels. I mean, I kind of wanted to a little bit, but like, I don't know. I feel like most panels are all kind of the same thing after a while, you know? You get the same, it's the same message, different dude. But I think what I did get a lot out of is just talking to people. Is just literally meeting people that like apparently know me and are like, hey, like I like your shit. And then talking to people and asking them like, hey, where you from? What's going on? And just finding that common ground with a lot of people. I met a lot of people that were like relatively like super cool and chill. and I thought that was really, really cool. Just that gave me an opportunity. The event gave me an opportunity to meet more people than what I would normally would have met, and just kind of hang out and like kick it. So in that regard, like, it was perfect. Like, that's exactly what I want. I just want a place where I can kind of connect with old friends and then possibly make new friends. If I can do that, then we're good to go. And I think that place provided that opportunity, that if you utilized it correctly, you would get a lot out of it. Now, I have no idea how all the job fair stuff went, like, so that I can't really comment on because I wasn't looking for a job, but I mean, overall, there wasn't any. I didn't hear anything negative in terms of like people saying, "Oh, you know, I didn't get this," or "I paid for this," and you know, this and that. So overall, like that's a very positive thing. So I'm really curious about the second year, because what's gonna happen obviously is that everyone is already kind of talking about it. You know, people are like, "Oh my god, this is gonna be so dope next year." So now all the people, because there were a lot of people that were kind of on the fence about it and didn't go, right? And then, right, they're coming back. I'm coming back, and they're asking me, "How was it? Like, should I go next year?" And if you're probably like me, you're probably saying, "Yeah, you should go next year. It was really good." So I assume attendance is going to be even more, because all the people that were kind of on the fence about it are not going to be on the fence about it. They're going to show up. So now you got to somehow deal with that. So how is it going to work when there's like a shit ton more people? You know what I mean? And so are they going to be able to kind of handle that is the next question. And so not saying they're not going to be able to do it, but you have to kind of wonder, like, how smart are they? Like, did they already kind of think about that? I mean, because I probably would have, at least. I would have been like, all right, the second year is going to be bigger, because chances are, like, people are going to be like, more people are going to be showing up, and they're going to make more plans for it now that it has more, like, kind of eyes on it. So I'm curious on, like, what they're going to do, because I mean, that means they're probably going to have more booths, more artists, more lines and stuff like that. So how do you deal with growth? And I think that's one of the things that CTN kind of struggled with, is that when it grew, it couldn't grow with how popular it got. Like, I went to the very first year of CTN, and it was chill. It was like for kind of upcoming artists and stuff like that. It wasn't really meant for like famous people for the most part. It was for upcoming artists to kind of showcase and just kind of hang out and talk about stuff. But then as it got bigger, and obviously it was still locked into a contract, it couldn't keep up with the growth. And then when that happens, you know, people get unhappy. So I'm curious on how they're going to deal with that. I think next year will probably be their biggest challenge in terms of like, can they sustain the growth, but not get too big. If you get too big like Comic-Con, then like you kind of lose it a little bit. You kind of lose like why people want to go. Like, I don't want it to be like Comic-Con big, where now I'm like, screw this, like it's too much. But I do want it to be successful. And I was lucky enough to kind of hang out with Bobby and Kay at a dinner, I think on my last night there. And they seem to have they seem to clearly have their head in the right place. And AJ seems to be very adamant about it as well, since he knows them a lot more than I do. So I definitely trust his opinion about the whole matter, that he's saying like this is something that's going to be here to stay. So we will have to wait and see. But overall, there you go. So Stephen Burns just gave me the link to the Comic Fest. So real quickly, if you are in the San Diego area, March 5th to 8th, really cool event that I went to. I did a demo one time. Really cool, man. You guys should like check this place out. It's pretty cool. How much are tickets? In San Diego, yeah, $50, man. That's all you need. Yeah, $50 for all for a 4-day pass, man. If you do one day, it's like 25. So for like all four, and then the Sunday is 15, like general adult. Saturday 25, March Friday is 25. All 4-day, $50. You can't beat that, man. Really, really cool. There's a lot of cool stuff happening there. So I imagine it's got even bigger since then. And there's a lot of just it's very, very comic friendly. You'll see a lot of kind of cool art, a lot of cool toys, a lot of comic, very, very kind of just that kind of nerd culture stuff that kind of gets lost at Comic-Con because of what it's become. Yeah, you get to kind of experience that. So definitely worth checking out, and it's not expensive. So if you're local, you really have no excuse but to not like just go for a day at least and like hang out and just check it out. You know what I mean? Like, I could think of worse things to spend $25 on. And just try out like a day pass, something like that. I mean, worst comes to worst, right? It's like $25. You just go for a day. If you like it, come back the next day and just pay the next $25, right? And if you don't like it, then you only pay $25. But the people that run it were very, very cool when I went, and I've always wanted to kind of come back, but overall I've just been kind of busy. And then when I moved to the Bay, that made it almost borderline impossible. But okay, Photoshop is lagging. Just gotta give it a second. I came to Lightbox Live from Kansas. It was really nice meeting, connecting with artists I could never meet while online. Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty fun time, man. For people who don't work in LA because they work remotely freelance, it's a great connect in person with your online friends. Yeah, I would agree. It's easy to feel a little bit, isolated. I mean, I'm kind of the same way. I mean, I live in the Bay Area. Literally, all of my contacts are all in. Why is this not working? Literally, all my contacts are in SoCal. So it's easy to feel very isolated in terms of like being in the concept art community. Plus, I work in mobile too. So then, like, it's not very art heavy. Like, it is, but it's not like this crazy artistic kind of endeavor. Obviously, it's mostly about like the programming and like making the money and stuff, which is fine because that keeps a job. But yeah, definitely not on that kind of concept art illustrative side. So yeah, it's very easy to kind of feel like you're kind of missing out on stuff and whatnot. Like, I totally get it. But yeah, that's why you would go to these events, and hopefully that essentially solves your problem. No, actually no, we'll use this. Oh, I wonder what I'm going to do for this thing. This light value. Should I put it like a bluish value? I don't even know. Aaron's texting me. Oh man. I gotta reply back to him. All right. gotta figure out what value I want to do for that. So I have this big giant shape here. It's supposed to be a bridge, but I'll just fill it in now. And maybe I'll turn off all the lines and stuff right now too, so I can kind of get a sense of it. But before I do that, I definitely need to kind of throw in some like darker values, like. But I don't know like how dark. Cool. And we'll wait for this brush to load. Man, I can't wait till I get a new computer, man. This stuff is like super slow. You feel that? I mean, come on. There you go. Cool. Now maybe we can. You know, we could throw in a little bit of like that kind of sunshine, like. But we'd have to use a different brush. Oh, that's gotta be way brighter. Like that. Oh, come on. There we go. And probably have to go a little bit darker in some areas. Okay, now I'm gonna turn everything off because now I feel like I can maybe turn off the lines. Oh, was I painting on the lines already? Like a noob? There you go. Alright. Looks like ass. But there's some probably redeeming qualities in here. I just need to start to refine this thing a little bit more. Well, I've had this since like God knows how long, so I already had a new computer anyway, so I'm not too worried about it, but it still doesn't make the experience any less good. And this computer is pretty good too, but I think when I'm streaming too, and like I don't have any 3D programs open, but I don't know why it's been like super laggy of lately, and perhaps I just needed to restart my computer. Maybe that's what it is. Like I don't really know like what the problem is. Let me see how big this file is. See? Like it does that, and I don't know really why. See, like that, it's like super laggy. So what's the image size? Image size is definitely not a problem, because that's nothing. But hopefully we can fix this. So maybe I need to close all this stuff. I was watching like Blender videos, so oh, maybe that was it. Because now it's like not as laggy. The colors are snazzy. Yeah, I'm trying to. I have this cool idea. I want to have like some cool light kind of hitting this thing and whatnot, but I just need this thing to work, man. All right, let me save this and reopen it because I don't know what's going on here. Like Photoshop is just not. It's not happening for me today. I need to get like a new. Need to get a nicer desktop image. I don't know why I still have this to this day. All right, there you go. Yeah, so I mean, I spent a good grip on my computer, so it should last me a good while. But the computer I have right now, it's totally fine. Like it handles Blender fine. I think it's just when I stream. I don't know what it is. It's only been like recently that's been an issue. So yeah, see, there we go. So now I'm back to whatever the hell I was doing. That has to be more warmer. But I can turn on the perspective though. That I can't do. And we definitely have to warm this guy up. So I'm trying to find out like some snazzy kind of colors. Some snazzy McSnazzers in these colors. That's kind of cool. Yeah, let me just lower the opacity of this guy because it's like way too much. There we go. So slowly but surely we are in there. But I do like that color in the back. I don't know if they're gonna fit any more artists. That's the question, right? Because there's gonna be more artists that are gonna want to come. So like, how is that gonna work, right? Like, I mean, unless you think that like that's not gonna happen, and you're like, oh well, it's gonna be just just the artists that came, the ones that came from now are the only ones like ever. Like there won't be like any more capacity to have more artists. Which is fine if they ever want to go that route, but I'm curious, like when more people want to get in, and when more people, because that was the exact problem with CTN. When no one really wanted table, then it was like fine because no one cared, because there was plenty of space. But then once like all these companies started getting involved and saw there was money in it, like to be out there, well of course now that becomes like a huge issue, like. And then once students find out, oh, like this is a place where I can possibly get work, well then that becomes the next problem, because now everyone is like, well, how do I get a job, right? So again, I am curious on like how they're gonna solve that issue. If it becomes an issue. I guess that's probably like a bad way to even explain it. Like I'm just more curious on like, do they have a game plan? Like in the event that happens, like are they thinking about it? Like, you know what I mean? I would assume so, because I mean I assume like as soon as it ended, I assume they began like already planning the next thing. That's what I would be doing. Like I know for like CTN people, like they like as soon as that thing ends, they're already on the next one. They're like, all right, what's going to be what's going to be next year, and they got to start thinking about it, and that's like a lot of work. but they are smart people. I'll give them that. So if anyone has that answer, it's not me. It's those guys. But I was really cool. I was really happy to see that they were doing stuff with like inner city kids. That was freaking cool. That's some real stuff right there. I don't know if Tina's already done that before, but I don't know. Not to my knowledge, they haven't done that. But I could be wrong. But if they have, then let me know, because I'd want to make sure I, give her props as well if she was doing stuff for inner city kids, because that's something that he totally did not have to do, since it kind of like takes up a lot of time and money. So the fact that he took that time, I think is pretty cool. Also considering that he's like not like from LA, so he's like from Toronto, so. Oh, I know it'd be tight if I put like so if I put like some kind of cool patterning on here. Now, how would I do that is the question. Alright, I only got about 6 minutes, but I like where this is going. I should probably just do it in 3D. Alright, if I were to make a pattern, okay, color dynamics, apply per tip, ayo, that looks fucking tight. Who got lucky? Kayla got lucky. You want instant pat? Oh shit, maybe not. Oh, I'm a genius. Oh no. I thought I was a genius. I was so fucking wrong. But I kind of am a genius, because that pattern looks fucking sick right there. But I fucked it up right here. I got too ahead of myself. This one I'm just gonna make it bigger. There you go. I don't know what the fuck I'm painting, but like in theory this looks cool as fuck to me. Or just like the idea of what this thing is gonna be. So I need to go big and then go smaller and then smaller, and then as I go away, that patterning should kind of go down in contrast, So the idea is that it will kind of feel like it's going, but then I'll probably just kind of wash it out. You know what I mean? Like I'll wash that pattern out. But to be even more stupider, what I should have did, I should have just like painted the whole thing first, because now if I want to make any kind of changes now, like I have to sit there and repaint the freaking like the whole thing. So that's me being another complete idiot, but it is what it is. But this is another idea that like I'm probably not going to finish, because that's what streaming is me just not finishing stuff. But I probably will save it, because it did give me a couple of ideas for like future stuff. So. I don't know. What do you guys think? put more blue in there somehow. Oh, yeah, I guess that's the... Well, actually, you know what? Let's do this manually. Yep, that's the color that I need. In order for that to kind of work. And so yeah, then I'm curious on what people want to see more of at the event. Like, what's something that like happened that you guys were like, yo, I need more of that shit. For me, it's just like more time. I kind of wish it was open like later, like more like earlier and like longer, so that I could like hang out with people. Actually, I don't know how I want to do these clouds. I think I just want to do them like regular. Just kind of open this space up. Furries. What you want? I don't understand the question. You want more furries, like cosplay, or like more furry art? Is that what you want? I'm confused on that statement. It's like saying anime. Like, well, what do you mean? Like, what do you want from anime? There. Because I mean, there had to have been some furry art, I would imagine. No, like. By the way, I didn't get to walk around like at all. I got to walk around like once, and I saw a couple of friends, and then that was it. What if the clouds were triangle? That would be kind of interesting. Freaking weird, but interesting. If the clouds were triangle. Yeah, but I mean, like, there totally is anime there, because like almost everyone's style, everyone that went there draws like anime style. So it's like, if you want anime, like, you'll definitely get your anime there. I mean, like, everyone kind of has like that kind of Helen Chen like anime slash like kind of Pixar kind of style. That's like what everyone draws. So you're definitely not gonna be short of anything animation, like anime. Like, alright, cool. It is 8:01. I don't know where my wife is. Hopefully she has food. But this little texture thing right here, I just learned something kind of cool. And I'm kind of curious on how I'm going to apply it. But if I were to kind of zoom out here, I have to figure out a couple of things. One, the lighting. So if I were to kind of break this out a little bit more, where is a brush that would get this job done? This one? Yeah, okay. No, I meant a brush, not an eraser. I like this brush because it's really good for like making bold strokes and just kind of putting in things that you think are gonna work. It's a good, I like to use this brush when I'm like winding up for the day and I want to make like some big kind of changes or notes for myself. I feel like this like helps me get that done. So the lighting's coming through from the left and it's hitting it. I mean, I imagine that's gonna cause that in there. Which that's kind of cool too. If we end up doing it like that. And then we have this wall that what I wanted to do was to erase from it. So I wanted to do like big yeah, that's what I wanted. And maybe we'll just oh, my wife just got home. That means it's dinner time. Alright, that's what I was kind of going for. And then of course in the water then now we gotta do like this whole nonsense. Where now I kind of go through, right? Do all that. So yeah, not bad. I think it kind of came out cool. But we'll see. What's up, Ben? Mr. Jennings? Unfortunately, you kind of caught me at a bad time because I am getting ready to leave. But I appreciate you rolling through. I will try to finish this up some other time. Yeah, I only go for about like an hour because that's about usually how much time I have left. But it's more just a time to kind of hang out with you guys. But you can always watch the thing back later, and then yeah, we can go from there. So, but my wife just got home and she's got food, and I can borderline smell it. So I'm like, I need to get off the stream so that I can eat because it's like 8 o'clock, and I want to eat with my wife. But this is a pretty good like piece, like color wise. I wanted to see like if I could kind of achieve it, and already I kind of know that I can. So I feel like I need to maybe make this part in 3D and then maybe redo it so that way I can get the lighting exactly the way I want and do some more tests with it. So that's kind of my next thing. So yeah, thank you guys for rolling through. I really appreciate it. That was a little drawing that I did. Not totally crappy, but learned a lot of things. So that's kind of that's all I really care about nowadays. If you are not following, just go to the YouTube, of course. Follow, like, subscribe, I guess. Do I have to say that? I don't really care, actually. Yeah, just watch the videos later. And Thursday, we'll be back up again. Oh yeah, Lightbot Expo. Oh, nice. Then yeah, I met a lot of people. I think everyone in here, I think I possibly have met at Lightbot Expo, which is kind of cool. So thank you very much. So yeah, if you guys are around on Thursday, that's when I do Feedback Thursday. If you guys don't know what that is, people that have environment-based questions, you can turn in some environment piece that you're working on, and I will do my best to give you some feedback with the PAINTOVER. And that's Feedback Thursday. I'm not sure about Tuesdays anymore now that school's kind of starting up again for me. Like I teach. Tuesdays may kind of fall off the map, and I might just do the Feedback Thursdays because that seems to be what people like the most anyway. So we'll see how that works out. Either I'm going to keep the Tuesday or keep the Thursday, but it's going to be hard to do both. So plus I'm like doing more gym shit, and I'm back on the soccer team again, so that just a whole lot of shit in the world going on right now that I got to keep up with. But in the meantime, yeah, come back on Thursday. We'll hang out and we'll go from there. Okay. Thank you guys so much for coming through. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Fitz. Thank you, Darnell. Everybody. Yeah, check out thank you, Stephen Burns, for coming through. And check out the San Diego Comic Fest. and yeah, we'll go from there. All right, guys, take care, and as always, peace out. Thanks for watching.